Welcome to our Devos. We have been talking about holiness and how the most important thing about holiness for us is that we anchor our holiness to Jesus, not to our ability to be holy, not to what holiness looks like around, with other people. We talked about the cultural shifts happening in our country and our world right now, but it's sinking sand. It's shifting sand. We have to focus instead on Jesus. And so one thing we have to keep in mind, as we are striving to be holy, as we are striving to follow him, as we are striving to continue to live for him, we have to live by his grace. I know that's the ultimate card, the trump card. You throw that, it's just grace, it's all grace. But honestly, you need grace to do this. Because at the end of our efforts to be holy, we are going to find ourselves messing up. At the end of our attempts to not idolize people, to not judge people, to not put ourselves in a position where we feel like we're better than people, we are going to mess up. Grace becomes the equalizer. Grace enables us to still pursue God while knowing at the same time we have not arrived yet. We have not reached that peak of us being able to say that we are holy. But it's through Jesus that we can achieve that, but we need his grace and a whole lot of it in order for us to get there. It says in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 8, it says, "By grace you have been saved through faith." And this is not of your own doing, it's the gift of God. The grace that God gives you, you need to depend on it. Because without grace, you wouldn't even have access to him. The moment that we begin to remove grace from the equation, we become religious. We become self-righteous. And more often than not, we become judgmental, hypocritical, and even condemning. When we recognize that God's grace is what enables us to be holy, then God will allow the humility that we experience through that process to fast track our way to following him, to understanding what obedience looks like, and most importantly, to becoming more and more like Jesus, because he was holy, he was perfect, but he was also humble. He didn't need grace, he gave grace. We need grace, and we receive it from him.